between the hours between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. between the hours
okay. Now let's figure out what I'm gonna play tonight.
Yeah.
With my whole battle with cancer and having to overcome that, and you know, it wasn't looking good, man.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't looking good, and going from, you know, being at, you know, the top of my game to waking up blind.
Yeah.
Blind.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Yeah, couldn't use my entire arm.
Yeah.
Couldn't use it, and you know, having to have my wife drive me around everywhere because I couldn't see.
Yeah.
I was blind. So you know, life got in perspective.
Yeah.
Really quick, man.
I will say that no one can talk about Portland hip hop in general and talk about the roots of it without mentioning a few people. And DJ O.G. one, for a fact, is definitely one of those names. And so I appreciate you, man. I know you're busy. How did you start laying your groundwork here in the hip hop scene in the Northwest?
Ooh, wow. So really, it goes back to when I first came on the scene. I came on DJing. You know, I always had music, and I would, you know, started producing when I was living in LA. Mm-hmm. But when I came here and got settled, I actually was running a youth program. I was a director of the youth program called Gang Peace.
Okay.
And one of the things I did in the program, I used to throw monthly parties for kids that got good grades. So it's like we have dances at Whitaker Middle School, and I was like, okay, if you show up, you got to know from your teacher that your grades is cool and your behavior is cool, then you get in the party. That was your ticket in the party. And so it started off with that, and it just blew up. All the kids wanted to get into this party, you know, because I would give prizes away, food, and all that kind of stuff, and they didn't have to pay anything. And word just kind of got out from there, and from there I got invited to open up my first concert, my very first concert as a DJ at the Roseland Theater, and it was with Run DMC and Naughty by Nature.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, scared to death. Scared to death, man. Scared to death, and my career just kind of blew as a DJ from that point. At the same time, I was making beats, but I wasn't making any beats for like anybody. I was just like making music, and I connected with some local guys, DJ Sky D, Star Child when he was still in high school, man, No One Else, and a couple other cats, and we just kind of connected, man, and from there started building, and I started producing music with those guys, and did that for a number of years, and then I was making so much music, but I started getting discouraged because, one, a lot of artists weren't paying for beats. They didn't want to pay for beats. Yeah. And those that I did give beats out to, just to kind of like get my name out there, it was like at that point a lot of artists didn't have a lot of understanding about business and promoting, you know, so it was like my beats were just circulated locally.
I could get on so fast.
It's word of mouth, man.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. I think it was a combination of word of mouth, and I just dealt with people. I just navigated differently than a lot of dudes. I think a lot of times when people get those opportunities and you get so much of it fast, there's a temptation to get a big head and get beside yourself. I have a firm belief, man, you know, and it's just where my faith comes from, that, you know, I look at every opportunity I've gotten, man, that God is a God-given. So just as easy as it can come, it can go. And so I deal with people from that place. You know, it don't matter if you're a millionaire or you're the janitor, you know, sweeping the floor. I'm going to give you the same equal level of respect, and I'm going to treat you as such. For me, my mission has never been just about the music. I've always used music, and I love music, but I've always used music as a tool for me to connect with people, connect with communities. I understood way back that when you have people that, you know, are trying to make an impact with young people, most of the time our young people listen to who are the celebrities, who are popular, whether it's athletes, whether it's entertainers. So you think the average person that's making a difference in the community can be a positive person, but they have to battle, you know, okay, am I going to listen to this guy that might come in my school, or if Jay-Z walked up in my classroom, I'm going to be, ooh, ah. And so I was like, man, you know, how do I make an impact on that level? And so I use DJing and producing as my carrot, per se. So, for example, I talked to a kid when, you know, I was just a DJ Portland, you know, in Portland, and I'm a cool guy and I'm cool and everything. But it was something that changed when I went and did Rap City. When I was on BT, the only DJ out of the Northwest to do Rap City with no rappers. Coming back then and walking in the hallways of Jefferson High School and telling a kid you should go to class sounded totally different.
Welcome back. It's going down. OG1!
What the deal,
DJ OG1 in the building. What up, man?
Oh, man, you know, just holding it down. Portland.
Big things?
Oh, big things. I mean, and so it was like, so my pursuit of any type of status, like being the best or, you know, taking pictures with a celeb and all that, it changed for me. It was like, nah, I need to take this because I need to be able to show kids that you can go and be exposed to these levels and be cool and popular without having to do the negative stuff, without having to disrespect women, without having to sell drugs or be in gangs and all that kind of stuff. You work hard, focus, you can have those opportunities. You treat people with respect, you can have those opportunities. But it's one thing saying it, you know, when you just saying it to a kid, but them visually being able to see, oh, okay, he said that, but I see what he's talking about. You are listening to X-Ray FM at KXRY Portland and KQAC HD3 Portland at 107.1 and 91.1 on your FM dial, streaming live worldwide on xray.fm. You are in the streets. I'm your host, DJ OG1. Got you for the next 2 hours from 10 p.m. to midnight, bringing you them slaps. What's hot in the streets. Everything, every opportunity pretty much I've gotten has been from word of mouth. My talent has had to back it up, but it's been word of mouth. The situation with the Blazers came because of Larry Miller, who was a good, you know, mentor of mine. He was president of Brand Jordan. And back in the early 2000s, I got invited to DJ some events for Brand Jordan and built a really cool relationship with the brand and was doing a lot of stuff with them, doing DJing for Michael Jordan, all that. And he made a transition, I think it's 2008. He made a transition to being the Trailblazers president. Oh, wow. So, so at that time, DJs were making their first entry into the NBA league. My man, DJ G.R.I.T, who was the DJ for the Miami Heat, he was the, you know, foundation of that, making that mark for DJs. And I think at the time it was maybe only four DJs in the NBA. And so I just asked.
That's when you came in.
And that's when I came in. And it was basically from asking.
Yeah.
Larry, the Lakers got a DJ, Miami got a DJ. You know, I think it was Dallas, Denver Nuggets have a DJ. Why Portland don't have a DJ?
Yeah.
And it was as simple as, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Next thing I have an NBA contract.
Oh, wow. Do the players have requests? Or can they make requests?
Yeah, they can make it. It's been interesting. So having DJs in the arena has been, you know, a growing process because, you know, it's new. And, you know, we know music has always been in the arenas as some form, whether it's organ players or whatever. So it has been a process in like, okay, how does this work? And I think it's different for different teams. Portland, particularly because Portland is a really conservative city. So now you have a DJ that's coming in with the swag, like, let's go. So it was some adapting, like, okay, this is different, but it's cool. So how can we make this, you know, how can we make this work? And so, you know, it went from that to actually having a lot more interaction with the players because now I'm learning the game, like, okay, the production of the game, like what happens from the time guys are warming up to when doors open to when the actual game starts. And so I've had to learn to adapt to that. So part of that is catching the vibe of the players. Like now pre-game, I'm like on the floor. I'm on my DJ booth is actually on the floor while guys are warming up. So it gives me a chance to vibe, see what they vibing, see what the other team is kind of what they feeling. Have you did you hear the joint with I gotta see if I can find that too. That Dame just did
about
the Marvin to Dame, man. And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, man, he got bars, and I was like, again, okay, here's a hooper. They got some bars. Okay. Because, you know, I just went and Googled. I said, let me see if he got anything out there. And he only had something with his cousin at the time. And when I heard his bars, I was like, oh, nah, dude is like, he's the real deal.
He's legit.
Like, he's really legit. And so me and his cousin, Brookfield, got really cool. And but then when Dame started coming out with his stuff, I was like, nah, when people be asking me, man, is this just kind of like, okay, this is a bad hooper trying to rap? I said, nah, this dude really got bars.
He killed him on that track.
Marvin
got murdered.
Marvin got murdered. So it was funny because Wesley Matthews. He's on, you know, was it Dallas or Minnesota?
Yeah, I did Dallas.
Yeah, so he's with Dallas. So, you know, I'm cool with Wes, you know, when he was with the team and stuff. So he comes and he's warming up. And he's like, oh, hey, can you play this? And my natural instinct was like, oh, man, I got you, Wes. Yeah. And then for a second, I was like, and then Dame comes on, nah, man, he don't get no. And I said, nah, man, you don't get no requests, man. You don't play for us no more. Nah, I ain't playing that song. He's just like, yeah, so it's a lot of fun, man.
That's cool, man. How do you prep and get ready for games on game day? Because you hear every home game, so 21 games.
Yeah. So a lot of it really is I learned from the players and I learned from the fans, and it's a every game process. I never come in knowing like exactly what I'm going to play. I prep and being prepared with things that are popular. But that's on layers because there's things that's popular with the players that ain't popular necessarily with the fans overall. So having to say, okay, maybe what's the Billboards playing? So, okay, I'll have a playlist that's set for that. Okay, what's popping in the streets for the players? Okay, I have a set list of that. Okay, I know I got a wide range of ages in the arena. So I'm going to have to throw some old school in there at some point. Yeah. So I have a set. Now I have all these set, and then I walk in the arena and I feel the vibe. Because though I have those set, that doesn't mean that I play that. That just means I have something to pull from. But when I walk in the arena and I vibe, I'll start playing some stuff just to kind of like fish. Just kind of fish. And once I start seeing heads bobbing or like,
people kind of...
Yeah, then it's like, okay, I'll go there.
Yeah.
I go there, and then the mood can change. I can be on that, and then the mood will change in the arena, and I have to be able to adapt to that. I can't say, no, I'm going to stick to this. I have to be able to adapt. But that comes from, man, just being connected with people, man, and understanding that DJing is a service business, man. It's not about me. I'm just serving the people. The worst thing that I ever experienced as a DJ is walking in a room of an empty room.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I hate
for a rapper.
Yeah, I hate being in an empty room because it's almost like if it's an empty room, I don't even know what to play.
Right.
One person walks in that room, I'm fishing. I say, hey, I see them, and if I can get them moving, then cool.
Who has been the top, your favorite A-grade celebrity to spin for, or function to spin for? And you don't have to throw. We ain't gonna ask you who the worst is.
Right. I would say, wow, it's so many. But I'd have to say that Michael Jordan, of course. You know, Michael Jordan, like DJing his birthday party. It was just like, I'm DJing Michael Jordan birthday party. Like,
that's pretty live.
I'm DJing it. So, you know, that's one hand. And then, interesting enough, I have to say the Run DMC was like one of my biggest highlights because it was the first time that it totally concreted for me that this is what I wanted to do as a DJ. To see that music has the ability to take people on a journey, and I was the conductor. You know, it was like, yes, this is, if I ever had any doubts on whether or not I wanted to be a DJ, this just sealed it. Now, I tell you, one of my biggest bucket lists was just recently, and that was DJing for DMX.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because and that's mainly because, you know, some of his music has been played a big part in some struggles in my life, and so being able to relate to that, and then being able to have an opportunity to be on stage and rock with him, and then be able to, you know, actually meet him and talk to him, and just kind of let him know, you know, just how his music has impacted me. That was just like bucket list. bucket list. I think there's only one other person now that I haven't got a chance to, you know, DJ for that would be a bucket list that's alive. I mean, of course, Big and Pac would have been a bucket list, but LL.
Oh yeah, man, yeah.
Because pretty much everybody else I've gotten a chance to rock with, from Nas to, you know, again, Jay to Naughty by Nature to, you know, Rakim. I mean, there's so much that, you know, as a kid, if you would have asked me when I first started DJing, would I ever have dreamed of being on the stage with legendary figures, I would have, nah, you lying. I'll never be that.
You currently host two
shows, yep.
On X-Ray FM. What, Friday and Saturday night?
Friday and Saturday nights.
So what's the Friday, what's the Saturday?
So Friday is called the Groove Theory Mix Show. I developed that show really in support of the R&B soul jazz community here in Portland.
Word, yeah.
Because there were no formats really radio-wise that were giving them looks, you know, from a radio standpoint. And so it was like, man, I got to create something. There's so much talent here. Let me create a show that kind of showcases the local artists that are in that lane. Saturday nights is the, you know, kind of the opposite. You know, let me shine some light on the hip-hop vein, and this kind of like what's going on in the streets. Not even just hip-hop, but I play some R&B and stuff like that. But just giving people a platform to hear stuff that doesn't necessarily get played on the regular radio.
Underground.
Yeah, you know, because I think X-Ray does a great job, like with my man DJ Cliff with Welcome to the Neighborhood. He comes on before me 2 hours, and he's heavy on supporting local hip-hop artists. So, you know, I kind of follow up with him and like, okay, let me play what's hot in the street, mix some local stuff in it, but play what stuff that people are saying, hey, this is dope in the streets, but probably won't get no radio play.
Right.
I couldn't get into it without starting this show off with the joint Loyalty featuring Millennium, Cool Nuts, Brookfield Deuce off of the upcoming compilation The Rise of the Rose, produced by some guy I think some people might know. DJ O.G. Let's go.
Loyalty. To define loyalty, one must believe that they possess the integrity and ability to walk in the very principles of loyalty.
Millennium. To the streets, but they ain't loyal back. When you buy your ticket, they no money back. I give you my loyalty, ain't give it back. Loyal to my family like a buddy pass. Once it ain't no trust, it ain't no coming back. I'ma back up off you like a running back. Once you out the circle, ain't no coming back. If you take your loyalty, don't give it back. Kendrick and Riri talked about loyalty. Ask you a question, die behind loyalty. Loyalty's more important than royalty. Checking that loyalty like my royalties. Homies done lost their life over loyalty. They swearing that they loyal, but ain't no loyalty. Some be loyal, then they show disloyalty. Take a photo of me, picture of my loyalty. A loyalty will never see my loyalty. A loyalty will make you pay that lawyer fee. Almost lost my life, but not my loyalty. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty.